Britain hosts over 4,000 organized crime groups operating right now, tonight. But here's what most people don't understand. The underworld isn't run by one kingpin or one family anymore. It's a network. A supply chain as sophisticated as Amazon, moving drugs, people, and counterfeit goods worth billions. From Manchester's counterfeit empires to Albanian cocaine pipelines. From Vietnamese cannabis factories hidden in plain sight to county lines that turn children into drug mules. This is Britain's underworld in 2025. 10 networks that control the flow of crime across the country. Operations that most people walk past without even knowing it. Over the next 15 minutes, the true scale of how these groups operate becomes clear. Where they work, what they sell, and the police operations trying to bring them down. This isn't about street gangs or small-time dealers. These are transnational criminal organizations with military-grade logistics, encrypted communications, and influence that reaches from Latin America to Southeast Asia. And in the last 3 years, law enforcement has been fighting back harder than ever. Starting with number 10. Number 10. Manchester's Counterfeit Street Networks, Cheetham Hill, a neighborhood in North Manchester. For years, Barry New Road earned a nickname, Counterfeit Street. Designer bags, watches, clothing, pills, makeup. Everything sold in legitimate shops had a fake version here. But this wasn't small-time knockoff merchants. Operation Vulcan, Greater Manchester Police's massive crackdown launched in 2022. The results? 216 fake goods shops shuttered. Over 1,050 tons of counterfeit items seized. That's the weight of 150 double-decker buses worth of fake goods. Hidden warehouses filled floor to ceiling with counterfeit designer goods. Cash counting machines running 24/7. Links to organized crime groups across Europe and Asia. The operation is still ongoing. Every few weeks, another shop gets raided. Another cache discovered. Because in Manchester, the fake goods business is real money. Number 9. Romanian-linked retail theft crews. Walk into any major supermarket in Britain, Tesco, Morrison's, Sainsbury's. Somewhere within 20 feet, someone is about to steal hundreds of pounds worth of goods. But this isn't ordinary shoplifting. This is organized retail crime. Romanian organized crime groups have built an entire supply chain around mass theft. The system works like this. Step 1. Teams hit multiple stores in a single day. High-value items, razor blades, baby formula, alcohol, cosmetics, meat. Step 2. The goods go straight to wholesalers and markets, sold at a discount, still in packaging. Step 3. Profits get funneled back to Romania through money transfer services. The infamous Morrison's 4 case. Romanian nationals convicted of stealing over 500,000 pounds worth of goods from a single supermarket chain. Police raids uncover warehouses stacked with stolen products. Thousands of razors, hundreds of bottles of premium spirits, all still in retail packaging. Retailers are fighting back with better security, but the crews adapt fast. New faces, new methods, new targets. Because there's massive money in stealing everyday goods at an industrial scale. Number 8. Vietnamese cannabis farm syndicates. Any British high street, empty shops, closed units, boarded windows. But behind some of those doors, something's growing. Police body cam footage shows the moment officers breach a closed shop unit in Birmingham. Inside, thousands of cannabis plants under industrial heat lamps. Sophisticated irrigation systems, bypassed electricity meters stealing power directly from the grid. Vietnamese-linked organized crime groups have turned cannabis cultivation into an industrial operation. The scale is staggering. Hundreds of grows discovered every year, from high street shops to suburban houses, from warehouses to former factories. But the darker truth emerges during raids. Many of the people tending these grows aren't criminals. They're victims. Vietnamese nationals trafficked to the United Kingdom with promises of legitimate work, then trapped in cannabis farms, threatened, unable to escape. When police raid these operations, they often find people who need rescue, not arrest. Energy companies now work with police to spot suspicious usage patterns, massive spikes in electricity, heat signatures on infrared cameras. But for every grow that's discovered, investigators believe there are dozens more still operating, hidden in plain sight, behind closed doors, on residential streets across Britain. Number 7. Kurdish and Turkish people smuggling and heroin routes. The small boats crossing the English Channel dominate the headlines. But the deeper question rarely gets asked. Who's organizing this? Kurdish organized crime groups have been arrested for moving migrants via small boats and hidden in heavy goods vehicles. The economics are brutal. Migrants pay £3,000 to £10,000 per person for the crossing. Multiply that by 30 people per boat. That's up to £300,000 per trip. These aren't random operations. They're coordinated across multiple countries. Recruiters in Iraq and Syria, facilitators in Turkey, logistics coordinators in France, boat operators on the French coast. United Kingdom Kurdish cooperation has led to significant arrests, but the networks adapt. When small boats get more attention, they switch to heavy goods vehicles, hidden compartments, refrigerated trucks, container ships, and people smuggling isn't their only business. Turkish-linked groups have long been tied to heroin supply lines into Europe and the United Kingdom. The Balkan route, heroin from Afghanistan through Turkey, through Eastern Europe into Britain. The National Crime Agency calls these groups polycriminal. They don't specialize. They do whatever makes money. People, drugs, weapons, whatever the market demands. Number 6. County lines franchises. This one's different because it's United Kingdom born and bred. County lines. The term describes how urban drug suppliers push cocaine and heroin into smaller towns and cities. But the truly insidious part reveals itself in the method. The drugs don't get moved by gang members. They use children. The business model works like this. A gang in London, Birmingham, or Manchester controls a line. A dedicated phone number that buyers call to order drugs. The phone stays in the city, but the drugs and the dealers move out. Vulnerable children and young adults are sent to coastal towns, rural areas. They take over homes of vulnerable adults, drug users, people with mental health issues. It's called cuckooing, turning someone's home into a drug den. When police raid these county lines operations, they find teenagers who should be in school, burner phones, prepackaged drugs, cash. These kids are often from care homes, excluded from school, groomed with gifts and affection, then sent hundreds of miles from home to sell drugs. It's not just a drug problem. It's child exploitation at an industrial scale. Police have shut down thousands of county lines, but new ones open immediately. New phones, new kids, new vulnerable homes. Because the economics work. Low risk for the people at the top, high profit, replaceable workers. Most people think of Irish organized crime as an Irish problem. The reality tells a different story. The Kinahan cartel, based in Ireland and Spain, has deep roots in Britain. Thomas Bomber Kavanagh, the cartel's United Kingdom node leader, arrested, convicted, sentenced. His operation, importing firearms, coordinating drug logistics, linking Irish cartel interests to British criminal networks. The Kinahan-Hutch feud in Dublin, a gang war that's killed 18 people, has spilled into Britain. Kinahan targets have fled to the United Kingdom. Kinahan enforcers have followed, attempted hits on British soil. The United States Treasury sanctioned the Kinahan cartel in 2022, designating them as a transnational criminal organization, froze assets, offered multi-million-dollar rewards. The cartel's influence stretched into legitimate business, boxing promotion, property, hospitality. British authorities continue tracking Kinahan money and associates, because when an Irish cartel needs a British footprint, they build one. 2020. Law enforcement pulls off one of the biggest intelligence coups in history. French and Dutch investigators hack EncroChat, an encrypted phone network used exclusively by criminals. For months, police read everything. Every drug deal, every murder plot, every shipment. In the UK, it becomes Operation Venetic. The results are staggering. Over 2,600 arrests across the United Kingdom. 77 tons of drugs seized. 54 million pounds in cash recovered. 1,800 firearms and weapons confiscated. Every major city, every organized crime group, suddenly exposed. The trials are still ongoing in 2025. Hundreds of criminals sentenced to thousands of years combined. EncroChat revealed the true scale of Britain's drug trade. Multi-ton shipments arriving weekly. Cutting houses processing heroin. Cocaine labs operating in suburban areas. But the problem didn't end there. Criminals adapted. New encrypted networks launched. Sky ECC. Anom, which turned out to be an FBI honeypot. The game continues, but Operation Venetic showed something crucial. Britain's drug trade isn't local gangs, it's international supply chains, logistics coordinators, financial controllers, and invisible infrastructure moving billions through the country. Number 3. Chinese snakehead and triad networks. Walk through Britain's Chinatowns. Birmingham, Manchester, London. Restaurants, nail salons, massage parlors. Cash-intensive businesses. Some are legitimate, but behind others, there's a darker economy. Snakehead groups specialize in human smuggling, moving Chinese nationals into the UK and across Europe. The methods vary. False documents, hidden compartments in lorries, student visas that never lead to a classroom. Once in the United Kingdom, many migrants find themselves trapped in debt bondage. They owe tens of thousands for their passage. They work in restaurants, cannabis farms, or brothels for years to repay it. These networks also run illicit economies, underground gambling, unlicensed money transfer services, protection rackets within Chinese communities. The term triad is often misunderstood. These aren't martial arts movie villains. They're organized crime groups with roots in Hong Kong, Fujian, and other regions. Their real power is in financial services, moving money across borders, laundering cash through legitimate businesses. Routes mapped by researchers show networks stretching from Fujian province through Southeast Asia into Europe, terminating in Britain. Police operations require language experts, cultural knowledge, and international cooperation. Because these networks operate in the shadows of Britain's Chinese communities, often invisible to mainstream law enforcement. Number 2. The 'Ndrangheta, Italy's most powerful mafia. Most people have heard of the Sicilian mafia. Cosa Nostra, the Godfather. But the real power in European organized crime comes from Calabria, the 'Ndrangheta. They control Europe's cocaine wholesale market, the ports, the logistics, the distribution. When headlines announce record cocaine seizures in European ports, 10 tons here, 5 tons there, the 'Ndrangheta are usually behind it. They have direct relationships with Colombian and Mexican cartels. They're the bridge between South American production and European consumption, and Britain is one of their biggest markets. When Italian police dismantle an 'Ndrangheta cocaine network, the ripple effects hit the United Kingdom within days. Supply dries up, prices spike, violence erupts as other groups fight for the gap in the market. But cocaine is just the product. The real sophistication is in the money. The 'Ndrangheta invest billions into legitimate European businesses: property, restaurants, construction, waste management. Britain's property market, with its appetite for foreign investment and weak oversight, has been a perfect destination. United Kingdom law enforcement works closely with Italian authorities. Joint operations, intelligence sharing, asset seizures. But the 'Ndrangheta's strength is its structure. Family-based, incredibly loyal, nearly impossible to infiltrate. They don't need a presence in Britain. They just need to control the TP. The cocaine flows, the money returns, and Britain keeps buying. Number 1. Albanian-speaking cocaine networks. For years, when British police talked about organized crime, they meant British criminals, maybe some Irish, some Turkish. Not anymore. Albanian-speaking organized crime groups have become the dominant force in Britain's cocaine trade. The reason is simple. They control the entire supply chain. From Colombia and Ecuador, directly to European ports, straight into Britain. No middlemen. No Italian or Dutch intermediaries. Direct relationships with South American cartels. When the National Crime Agency seizes a ton of cocaine at a British port, there's a high chance it's linked to Albanian networks, and they're willing to use extreme violence. Shootings in London, Manchester, Liverpool, torture, execution-style killings. The money laundering is sophisticated. Hawala systems, car washes, barbershops, cash-intensive businesses where dirty money gets cleaned. Europol identifies Albanian groups as one of the most significant organized crime threats in Europe. EncroChat and subsequent operations expose the scale. Albanian controllers coordinating multi-ton shipments. Logistics networks. Distribution cells across every British city. The violence hasn't stayed within the criminal world. Innocent people caught in crossfire. Rival dealers shot outside gyms. Bodies dumped on suburban streets. United Kingdom law enforcement has made hundreds of arrests, seized tons of cocaine, frozen millions in assets. But the Albanian networks adapt. New smuggling routes, new communication methods, new enforcers. The fight continues. Better port security, more intelligence sharing, stronger international cooperation. But right now, understanding Britain's underworld means understanding this: Albanian-speaking organized crime. Crime groups have become the dominant force in Britain's cocaine trade. The reason is simple. They control the entire supply chain. From Colombia and Ecuador, directly to European ports, straight into Britain. No middlemen, no Italian or Dutch intermediaries. Direct relationships with South American cartels. When the National Crime Agency seizes a ton of cocaine at a British port, there's a high chance it's linked to Albanian networks, and they're willing to use extreme violence. Shootings in London, Manchester, Liverpool, torture, execution-style killings. The money laundering is sophisticated. Hawala systems, car washes, barbershops, cash-intensive businesses where dirty money gets cleaned. Europol identifies Albanian groups as one of the most significant organized crime threats in Europe. EncroChat and subsequent operations exposed the scale. Albanian controllers coordinating multi-ton shipments, logistics networks, distribution cells across every British city. The violence hasn't stayed within the criminal world. Innocent people caught in crossfire. Rival dealers shot outside gyms. Bodies dumped on suburban streets. United Kingdom law enforcement has made hundreds of arrests, seized tons of cocaine, frozen millions in assets. But the Albanian networks adapt. New smuggling routes, new communication methods, new enforcers. The fight continues. Better port security, more intelligence sharing, stronger international cooperation. But right now, understanding Britain's underworld means understanding this: Albanian-speaking organized crime groups have rewritten the cocaine supply chain, and they're not going anywhere.